Hello and welcome to CadoinkStudios. I have for you today a game between two pro players. We have today MouzThorZaiN versus mouzMorroW. So two players on the same team. They're going to be duking it out here on Metalopolis, and we do have ThorZaiN spawning as the blue Terran in the north position of Metalopolis, while his opponent mouzMorroW is spawning in the south position as the red Zerg. So this is a TVZ. And the players are both playing in the NASL. I don't know where this is in the NASL. With what respect, I know it's not the finals. But it is a game between ThorZaiN and mouzMorroW. And it should be a good one, as both players are incredibly good and they're on the same team. So they've probably played together hundreds of times. Probably use each other as practice partners, and we do see they are in cross positions, and they both know this. They asked the caster if this NASL version of Metalopolis was cross positions only, and they confirmed it and said yes, it was. So we do see MouzThorZaiN walling off at his ramp with his barracks and his supply depot. He's going to be getting another supply depot up pretty early, and we do see that there's some scouting going on for mouzMorroW. We might see an early expand. In fact, we do see a drone coming out, most likely for the early expand. And indeed we do. Yep, at about 2 minutes 15 seconds we see an expand while this drone is going out to do some scouting. So some fairly normal things on this map. Zerg taking their expand and Terran walling off. So we probably won't see any kind of early Banshee sort of play, as they're not in close air positions. We probably won't see too early Mutalisk. However, we do normally see Mutalisk in a TVZ setting. We do see the spawning pool right here, opting not to put it back here, kind of putting it out front. Also getting his gas geyser up, so we will probably see Zergling speed at some point, rather than a roach sort of play. Back in the Terran space, we do see a factory going up at this time, pretty early factory. I suppose we will see some sort of Hellion play. He might put a reactor on this barracks and then switch to two. That is a very common strategy in Terran vs Zerg. And we do in fact see a reactor going down at this time. So we will be able to lift this factory off and lift the barracks off and switch them and be producing Hellions two at a time. In the meantime, ThorZaiN doing some scouting with his Marine, making sure there's nothing going on anywhere in the map. However, it is quite difficult for a Zerg player to build buildings, hidden buildings anywhere else, but we do see him scouting out, maybe making sure there isn't any like crazy early expansion. We do see a pretty early command center for the Terran player at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, right as this factory is finished, and the factory is landing, and it is going to be producing Hellions two at a time. I'm interested to see if he'll continue building Marines or if he'll stop building Marines altogether. Over back in the Zerg's base, we do see the Zerg's expansion is finished, and he is starting to saturate that very nicely at this time. But we don't see anything in the way of defense at this time for the Zerg player. We don't see any Zerglings. He's not building any. He is getting that Zergling speed, just like I talked about. But we do not see any Zerglings at this time. Instead, we see a lot of drones, so he's droning very hard, which might make this Hellion harass a little bit painful for him. These Hellions are coming down there, are going to try to poke in, do some damage. They might wait for these Marines, but they're going to go straight in, see these two Queens, and have to back up. We do see that ThorZaiN has stopped building Marines at this time, and he is getting another factory. Let's see where that is, right here, and he's even getting another reactor, so he's going to be building Hellions four at a time, which is going to be rather dangerous. However, he doesn't have one with the tech lab, so he won't be able to get that blue flame anytime soon. So we do see some poking and prodding. Some Zerglings are going around, maybe to get a flank or maybe to do a counterattack. We do see them going up to this gold, so it may be more of a flank sort of thing, maybe checking for any kind of like proxy factory. And here comes the Zerglings right now to try to surround the Hellions, but very nice control by ThorZaiN, moving the Hellions away and even getting a few Zergling kills there. And he is at this time building Hellions four at a time, so he is going to have quite a scary number, and with this large amount of Zerglings, that's going to be very effective, especially since we don't see any Roach Warrens for the Zerg player, or any kind of tech. The layer is just now being started, so he won't be able to get mutas or anything anytime soon. That's going to have to finish, and he's going to have to finish his Spire. We do see a macro hatch though, and now the Hellions are coming in. There are quite a bit of Hellions. They're going to be able to pick off all these Zerglings. There are 3 Queens on the field, and mouzMorroW is in a lot of trouble here. The Hellions are coming in and picking off a huge number of drones, and they are going into the main, attacking this Queen. He has 4 Queens, which does really good against Hellions, but there are just too many Hellions, and one of the Queen goes down. Hellions moving around the base trying to pick off as many of the drones as they can, taking a bit of damage, and here comes some Zerglings, which Zerglings do not do much at all against Hellions. The Hellions currently attacking mouzMorroW's Queens, and wow, the Queens are running really low on health. He's going to need to start transfusing them, and now the Hellions are coming around to attack some more of the drones. Many of the drones go down. Wow, this Hellion harassment is more than a harassment, it's a full-on attack. mouzMorroW finally moving his drones away. He needs to put down like a Spire or a Roach Warren or something. He does have 2 Spine Crawlers at the front, but wow, these Hellions are just effectively stopping all mining at the main. Zerglings come in trying to surround the Hellions, but wow, look at that. MouzThorZaiN is just incredible at controlling his Hellions, moving them around, making sure the Zerglings can't surround him, but eventually he's down to 2 and now 1, and that 1 is going to go down here very shortly. But look at this, there's a whole nother group because he's been producing them 4 at a time. They do pick off that Queen very quickly, and he's able to run straight into the main, and he's going to pick off these Zerglings very easily because of the large number of Hellions and the large amount of splash damage they do. We do see that the Hellions are just roasting the Zerglings, and nothing is being mined out of mouzMorroW's main. He's producing, he's currently not producing any Queens, which I think is interesting, as the Queens are doing what seems to be a lot better job than the Zerglings. The Zerglings just getting fried, as we can see right here, just going down very quickly. Yeah, and we do see all the Zerglings go down. This is very nice by mouzMorroW, putting this Spine Crawler here so that when the Hellions run around, they are attacked. And once again, all the Hellions go down, but not before another force is being rallied at the front of mouzMorroW's base. He's done a very good job at containing mouzMorroW, even getting a 3rd command center up so he can take and expand. And here comes some more Hellions doing some poking and prodding. There isn't a Spine Crawler here because he moved it back, and so the Hellions are able to get back in. He does have a Queen at the ramp to try to block him off, but there's just enough room for them to slide up there, and they are going to be able to attack some more drones and maybe get some more drone kills. It's absolutely incredible. Just frying these drones, and the drones are running back and forth having no idea what to do, and there's only 4 of these Hellions left, but man, so many of the drones have gone down, so many have been destroyed. And he's even going to be able to pick off this Queen. Oh, but the Queen is transfused just in time. And we do see another force of Hellions coming down. He's still producing them 4 at a time, but at the same time, he's getting +1 attack and defense for his Marines, and he's getting stim as well as combat shield. So all this time, this has bought him so much time. We do see the Hellions were left in the base. mouzMorroW didn't pick them off, and here comes some more Hellions at the front. He's going to be able to attack with these Hellions at the front as well as the Hellions on the back at the same time if he chooses to. And ThorZaiN, or mouzMorroW, is in a lot of trouble. I don't see what he can do at this point. He needs to put down a Roach Warren. Roaches seem to be the only thing in my mind that can take on this huge number of Hellions, as Zerglings and Queens are just not going to cut it. Look, still more Zerglings coming in, picking off a few of the Hellions, but the Hellions are doing a lot more damage than the Zerglings, and the Zerglings are doing to the Hellions. Hellions are going to be able to pick up this Queen if they don't transfuse, but he does transfuse just in time. And wow, ThorZaiN is absolutely incredible at microing around his Hellions, making sure he's doing enough damage, killing off as many of these Zerglings as he can. In the units lost tab, we do see that wow, they're actually closer than I would think. mouzMorroW has lost 800 more minerals, but if you see in all this time, it bought him a third base, and that he is mining from. In the income tab, we see his income is twice that of mouzMorroW's, and mouzMorroW hasn't done anything in the way of tech structures. We see that he does have a lair, but he doesn't have a Spire, he doesn't have a Roach Warren, he doesn't even have an evolution chamber or anything like that. And while he has effectively shut down this force, we do see a huge number of Marines with stim, and or they're going to have stim very soon. As we can see, stim is almost done, as well as +1, and attack and armor have just finished. So that, compared to just a few Zerglings with no upgrades at all, no kind of tech backing them up, MouzMorrow's going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. We do see the food discrepancy. MouzThorZaiN has 114 food to MouzMorrow's 59, which is a huge difference. We do just finally see the Spire as well as the Baneling nest going down at this time for MouzMorrow. But I mean, this is a numbers game at this point. We do see a huge number of Marines as well as a tank coming down. Zerglings are coming in, going to try to pick off some of these forces that are coming down. But with stim and siege tanks, they're just going to crumble as they just did. Still see quite a bit of Hellions. And yeah, even getting +2 for each and +1 for mech. +1 attack for mech. So he's going to scan and see that there isn't much in the way of the defenses for MouzMorrow, and he's going to be running forward with his siege tanks and Marines and Hellions. And MouzMorrow's going to see this huge number of Marines and get quite scared. He is building quite a bit of Banelings, which is great against Marines, but they see him in time and they are going to be able to pick him off before they're able to spawn. All of them going down, and there's the GG by MouzMorrow, leaving the game. Wow, absolutely crazy game by ThorZaiN. This is just wonderful Hellion harassment. I don't think I've seen a Hellion harassment that's been that effective in shutting down your opponent. It just totally crippled him, allowing him to get a third up and even building his 4th command center, while MouzMorrow was just barely on 2 base with he had quite a bit of drones at the end, but lost a huge amount in the process. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this game. It was just a little TVZ I found that I thought was pretty cool Hellion harassment. And yeah, I like doing pro games, and I like doing amateur games too. So if you have any you'd like to send me, pro or amateur, you can send those to CadoinkReplays@gmail.com, and I'll cast them for you. So thanks again. We'll see you guys later.